Her voice cut through the laughter like a sharp blade. Dad, please don't embarrass me in front of my family. Just sit in the kitchen. You're not on our level. For a moment, I couldn't even breathe. The whole table was filled with people, her husband's parents, her friends, strangers who barely knew her. Yet she smiled only at them like I wasn't even there. I stared at the chair she was so desperate to keep me away from, then at my daughter. My only child. Her eyes didn't soften for even a second. Not a hint of shame. So I stood up quietly, calmly, and walked away. She thought that little moment of humiliation would be the end of it. But the night had only just begun. I used to make her breakfast every morning, braid her hair for school terribly, but she always laughed. After her mother died, I worked double shifts. Every bill, every school fee, every little thing she needed, I handled it. She used to tell me, "You're my hero." Funny how heroes turn into burdens the moment someone richer comes along. When she met Daniel, I welcomed him. A successful banker, polished shoes, perfect smile, and eyes that didn't look at me, just through me. He convinced her she deserved more, and I wasn't more. The call slowed down. The texts faded. Birthdays turned into, "Sorry, Dad, we were traveling." One day, I came over with a gift. Nothing pricey, just a photo album of her childhood. The maid answered the door. "Sir, you can wait outside. The family isn't seeing guests today." Guests. That word stuck with me. Later, I found out Daniel had brought in a financial advisor, someone who pushed her to separate her money from mine, like giving her a life made me some kind of threat. What I didn't know then was even worse. Daniel was stealing from her business, her savings, everything, and she believed every lie he told her. Love blinds the ones who don't see it coming. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I learned. I studied their business, watched the company grow faster than Daniel could explain. I gathered documents he thought he'd hidden, recorded calls that were meant for lawyers. He assumed the old man with the 10-year-old coat couldn't see a thing. But I saw everything, and I prepared something he'd never expect. Her new restaurant was her pride, a dream I once pushed her toward. I paid for her culinary school, bought her first knives, told her, "Build a place where people feel at home." She forgot who handed her the blueprint, but I didn't. I collected proof of Daniel's embezzlement records showing the restaurant was built on stolen money, emails where he called her a naive puppet, signatures he forged under her name. Then quietly, I became the majority shareholder. How? Grief teaches you all kinds of legal loopholes, and every investor Daniel crawled to for help, I reached first. Tonight's dinner was meant to celebrate the restaurant's grand expansion. They expected applause. I brought the truth. I walked back into the dining room. The room fell silent. My daughter looked irritated. "Dad," she said. I set a folder on the table in front of Daniel. He tried to smile, but it dropped fast. "This," I said, "is what your husband has been doing behind your back." Page after page, money trails, stolen funds, emails dripping with arrogance and betrayal. Her eyes widened. Her hands shook. "This is a lie," Daniel snapped. But I wasn't talking to him anymore. "Your shares," I told my daughter softly. "They're worthless now. The debt he created is legally yours," she gasped. Her perfect world shattered right there. But I wasn't done. I bought every outstanding share, every secured loan, every piece of leverage. The silence felt heavy, almost physical. "You sent me to the kitchen," I reminded her. "But I own the house." Daniel lunged for the folder, desperate. Security held him back. My daughter's tears finally came too late. She whispered, "Dad, what have I done?" I leaned close so she could hear years of pain in my voice. All I ever wanted was respect. Not money, not praise, just a seat at your table. I stood tall for the first time in a long time. "You chose him over me. Now you get to live with the man you valued more." Daniel was already being escorted out. Fraud charges pending. His empire, our empire, falling apart. My daughter reached for me, but I stepped back. "You broke us long before tonight," I said. "I'm just giving back what you handed me." I left the way I came, quietly. As the door shut behind me, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Peace. I wasn't the man she sent to the kitchen anymore. I was the man who rebuilt himself in the shadows she refused to look at. And now she finally knows exactly who took his place.